Hey, what's up? Okay, so I was on social media or whatever, right? And I saw this what is it? Karmic relationship. Now, there are toxic relationships and there's love at first sight. And you ever had those type of relationships where you just can't let them go? You could be in a whole nother relationship, honey. And for years, they'll still have access to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just me, like, being on the outside, looking in with different dynamics in my life with, friends and associates and whatnot. And they'll be, married but they not necessarily a romantic relationship, but it's some form of intimacy that's like tied to another person. You ever had that type of relationship? I'm talking about type of dynamics that will stretch decades. And you just can't understand why you're still attracted to them, or if, you're questioning what is it about them? In some ways it may be sex, in some ways it may be conversation, in some ways it may be just intellect, in some ways it could just be just because. And it doesn't even have to be physical. Because I don't think these type of relationships is even physical. I think it's more on a intimate level. Anyway, I came across this article and I'm like, yo, let me read this for a minute. And so I'm reading it and it's like when love feels heavy. Right? And I'm like, okay. Because then you're in these type of dynamics and you like, am I in love? Do I just platonically love? Like, you're probably questioning, how can I be so drawn to this person when we're not even in a relationship? We've never been in a relationship, but somehow we're still tied to one another. And then you start to thinking, yo, was we like together in a different lifetime or something? Not even trying to be, funny or nothing. Like that Erica Badu song comes to mind. When she like walking around, it's like one camera following her around. And I can't think of the name of the song right now. It ain't On and On, but do I really? That song right there. I don't know the name of it right now, but that's the song I think of when I think of these type of karmic relationships. Like you tied to one another from a different life, you know. But on the flip side, it's like if you could be tied to this person so much, why haven't y'all gotten together? Why haven't y'all created a life together? A life of forever? Why be this dynamic in secret? And even if it's not in secret, why even not be together? These type of relationships are so like, for instance, it bring up like daddy issues or mommy issues? Does it bring up trauma? Do they remind you of someone? I don't know. Like, psychology was one of my favorite subjects in college. Anything to do with how the mind works, it always intrigued me. But these type of relationships, and I'm not even talking about a situationship right here. This is like surpasses that. These type of dynamics, shall I say, are like exhausting, right? Because you don't choose one another to be in a relationship with, but you choose one another to spend time with. And however that time is spent, if it's sporadic or um, if it's more than not, it still begs the question of why. Why not be together? Why take yourself through this? And then in the end, all the whys just become even more exhausting. So you end up walking away. And then that could either be, okay, the lesson learned would be not to choose a person like this to change something within myself to heal, to not allow these type of relationships to happen. Because if they're truly meant to be, then wouldn't you just be together? I still feel like these type of karmic relationships, again, are not toxic. I don't think they are, but it is somewhat painful, I think. Because you're left sometimes feeling like, why not me? Why didn't you choose me? You choose me in the dark but not in the light, or you choose me during this decade but not in previous decades, or I don't know. I just sit back and watch these type of relationships kind of pan out, and I'm always stuck looking like, man, why settle for that? Because I feel if someone truly loves you in these type of relationships, you still left wondering, do they love me? But if someone truly loves you, they're going to always choose you. Not in secret, not in the dark, not after the other person has not chosen them. You're going to always be their priority. You're going to always be the love of their life if there's true love. And anybody who has doubt about being with you doesn't deserve you. And that could be someone that you are madly in love with, and they can possibly be madly in love with you, but is it lust or is it love? Because love to me is never a second guess. Love will always be first. Love will always be purposeful. And love will always be meant. And you will always know where you stand with love. That's just my 2 cents. Anybody else ever heard of these relationships? Let me know.